Venice Film Festival 007 is breaking the mold by going back to his cinematic roots with Luca Guadagnino's Queer. Daniel Craig has moved on from his 007 graph by diving back into the deep end of raunchy, raw cinema. Guadagnino's Queer at the Venice Film Festival is proof youth is not a guarantee of innovation, but Daniel Craig's early presence in film, television, and theaters have consistently displayed a varied portfolio of genres and moods, defying his own iconic 007 statement. Needless to say, Daniel's surge in popularity and demand saw an astronomical hike when he entered his James Bond era in 2006 with Casino Royale. The first of 5 Bond titles, Daniel as 007 easily cemented himself as a pop culture indelible between Casino Royale and his last Bond film, No Time to Die 2021. This undoubtedly aided his journey to unbridled Hollywood glory by enabling him to cast his net wider. Not to minimize his legacy, but his studio cred as James Bond remains unbeaten thus far. The Glass Knives franchise, though wildly popular for its whodunit premise and star-spangled ensemble casts, failed to come even metaphorically close to the undying aura of the Bond legacy. But who is Daniel Craig before he became Bond? His latest passion project, Luca Guadagnino's Queer, which recently premiered at the 81st Venice International Film Festival, also becoming the recipient of a 9-minute standing ovation, holds the answer. Raw, raunchy, conflicted, and complicated, the slowed-down chaos that Queer represents is a dead ringer for some bold choices made by Daniel in the early years of his then-nascent stardom. Even the most dedicated Bond fans of the actor could have missed these wallflower projects, which actually carried a reflection of his willingness to push the boundaries with his choice in scripts. John Maybury's Love is the Devil. Study for a Portrait of Francis Bacon makes for one of the strongest glimpses of this. The Francis Bacon biopic gave a significant amount of airtime to the painter's botched romance with thief George Dyer, seamlessly essayed by Daniel. Class and status, addiction, and intoxicating love forms the premise of this film, showcasing Daniel's cinematic leanings in the early years of his career. The same can be said about 2003 Roger Michell film, The Mother. The premise is supremely unorthodox and will in all likelihood challenge your sensibilities when you see an impeccable yet lonely and Reed as May vie for the physical affections of Daniel's Darren, half her age. But Daniel's conviction to the script is what sells the noir story hard for those who aren't afraid to play spectator to the dark side of cinema. Coming back to the toast of the town, Queer, intentionally or not, is a thorough throwback to the embryonic Daniel's vision of cinema, which intentionally pushes boundaries. He plays a gay American expat in 1950s Mexico City, plagued by a heroin addiction, supplemented by matter-of-factly escapades, the latter being a prime landscape in the film. If you are in two minds of what a viewing of Queer may hold for you, know that it is akin to seeing a raw Daniel embodying the skill of a seasoned actor. Take the actor's own words for it: "If I wasn't in the movie and saw this movie, I'd want to be in it. It's the kind of film I want to see, I want to make, I want to be out there." They're challenging but hopefully incredibly accessible.